B.B. King is here, and the gentleman who makes food for the zoo animals. And he's here. He's going to mix up zoo food, and then we have little animals that will come out and taste it for us.
Lovely.
Yeah. Thank you very much. We couldn't be happier to have our next guest on the program. He drops by periodically, hasn't been here in some time, and we're always eager to check in with him and see what's going on. This man hosts a radio program which is simultaneously broadcast here in New York City, also Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the program the lovely, the talented Howard Stern. Hi, Howard. Nice to see you. Look, it's Howard. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. What do you got there?
It's good to be back. Thank you. See, I like coming here because it's not like I did Arsenio Hall show once. I made a mistake. I should never have done it. Because Dave doesn't like when you do that. You don't like that.
Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, but you don't like Arsenio.
It doesn't make any difference. Whatever you want to do.
You're not
whatever you
comfortable
feel
with that
like
whole concept.
will help your career and whatever you want to do.
Well, I realized it was wrong. I went on there to say I was never doing it again. I'm a David Letterman man. That's it.
That's why you took the booking?
I took the booking. I went over there. It was very weird scene. I told you it was like being on the set of Blackula.
This is a long time ago.
It was weird.
How have you been lately?
I said Arsenio ought to get one of those new hairstyles where you actually carve things into your hair. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
You can carve the Batman logo. You should carve the names of all the white women he's been dating. You know, just put them all down here and list them.
Great. Okay.
A rich guy like that should be, you know, with
the guy who's been fixing food for animals. He's right. He's ready to go.
No. Come on, Dave. No, it's good to be back because I didn't.
What have you been doing since we saw you before? What's new on the show?
You haven't had me on in a long time.
Well, I know. So I'm asking, what's new since we saw you?
I started to evaluate myself.
Yeah.
I started to say to myself, what am I doing wrong?
Right.
Maybe I've fallen out of favor. It happens on talk shows. Yeah. I mean, after all, I remember when Dodie Goodman got kicked off the Jack Paar program.
You remember that?
It's a terrible thing. But I found myself comparing myself with the other guests. Because I know you have Richard Lewis on a lot.
Richard Lewis is on a couple times a year. Yeah.
Now, I mean, I don't want to take an audience vote, but I think I do better than Richard Lewis. And I've had this, right? And I realize there's a certain allegiance on your part because you worked with him in these comedy clubs in the old days. You guys...
I wouldn't say that you do better than Richard Lewis.
Well, you used to say that.
No, I would say it's different, you know? I mean, it's a different
kind of appearance.
Expectation.
But I mean, and then I see Sandra Bernhard's been getting more appearances than me, and I said, you know, well, maybe Sandra Bernhard is funnier. But you don't really believe that, do you?
Well...
I mean, you must have... I'm sure you guys go back to the office and evaluate guests, and I know, I see me on the show. I mean, I'm funnier than these people.
Yeah.
I took it a little personally, I guess, that I was not. Not that Sandra isn't
So
good.
what are we getting to here? What is this?
Well, you want to talk
bringing
about
us to?
GQ magazine?
I don't know. I thought you had a point here to make. What was the point?
Well, I just was kind of surprised how you evaluate a guest. I mean, who's your top 5 guests? Who would you put in the top 5? Jay Leno?
We haven't had 5 good ones since we've been on.
Oh, no. It's got to be priorities.
So now let's talk a little bit about the radio show.
Last time I was on, you had, what's her name from the tennis? Chris Evert.
Right.
And she's a loser of a guest. I don't mind telling you that. To me, I mean, I'm just evaluating.
Yeah.
She sits there, she doesn't talk about anything really, except hitting a ball.
But you know, the sad part of it is she was supposed to be here tonight.
Oh, she was? I could have taunted her about dating Burt Reynolds, but...
And she came down with a cold at the last minute.
Is that right?
Well,
is that what happened?
Well, so, now tell me about the radio show. What's new there?
Well, there's a lot of new things going on. We got a lot of exciting things going on, Dave, as you know. In fact, this Friday we're doing a dial-a-date with the guy who was in the Rob Lowe video.
Well, there you go.
All right? With Rob Lowe, the other guy. I said, you know, what a horrible thing. You stand there in a room with 2 naked women and Rob Lowe, and you know the naked women want to be with Rob. They don't want to be with you. And I guess they got to sort of be with you just to get to Rob.
Right.
Is that how it works?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Now,
have you watched the actual video?
No. Now, how do you know this is the guy?
Well, I checked it out. I asked him a couple of times. I said, are you sure you're the guy who was in the video? Hey, anyway, who really cares if he's the guy anyway? I just like having him on. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
He says he's the guy. To me, he's the guy. It doesn't make a difference. I know when he pulls down his pants, I'll know if it's the guy.
Yeah, okay.
I've studied the video.
Yeah.
What a kick. How Rob Lowe is big.
We have to do a... commercial, and then we'll be right back here with Howard Stern. B.B. King and the guy from the zoo. You know, when people come up to me on the street a lot of times, they'll say, when are you going to have Howard Stearns on again?
Stearns. A lot of people make them say Stearns.
Why is that, do you suppose?
Well, because they're illiterate. I don't know. I mean, it's an easy name to know. It's a popular name.
And tell me about the 970 line. Is that what it is?
Dave, I'm glad you asked that. I've got a new line. I got 970 Stern in New York and 970 Stern in Philly and Washington.
And what happens?
Well, you call up and you get different messages from me, see? But we've all heard these lines before, and a lot of them are very boring. But my line is different. It's an exciting line. For example...
Do you make a lot of money off of this?
No, I don't make a lot of money off of it, Dave. I give it mostly to the church, different civic groups.
But is a lot of money generated by this?
Well, I would say there's some money generated by it. Yes, there is, but there's nothing wrong with that because you get a great message. For example, I had a guy on the 970 phone line the other day who was caught masturbating by his grandmother.
Oh, man.
By his grandmother. And he goes into the whole story, Dave. I can't get that graphic because it is NBC. But it was a startling story of a guy in the bathroom. And, of course, things like this do go on. His grandmother opens the door, looks in, sees him standing there naked with a Playboy. She walks in, she puts the towels on the towel rack, which is what she was supposed to do, and she walked out. And he never discussed it again with his grandmother, never talked to her about it. Next morning they were at breakfast, and the woman dropped dead a couple of years ago, and he never had a chance to tell his grandmother that he was sorry.
You know, Howard,
and it was heartwarming.
That's the same story that got Dodie Goodman kicked off the Jack Parr show.
I understand. I know. So you're many years ago.
You're pressing your luck here.
But Dave, you know, both you and I were named to the GQ list.
I don't know what that means. The Gentleman's Quarterly, the big comedy issue.
Well, you know, I know you don't care about this, but this was an honor to me. I went down the list. I saw 10 other people. Roseanne Barr. All right.
Wait a minute. Let me see this.
All right. Roseanne.
So she's at the top of the list.
Well, here, I'll give you a list. Roseanne Barr.
These are the most important people in comedy in 1989.
That's right. And you and I are both on the list. Bill Cosby because of Leonard Part 6, right? That's a big All right.
I had to make notes.
Leonard Part 6, I wrote that down. Yeah, I made a note on that. Yeah, right here, I made a note. Bud Freeman from the Improv is on the list.
Did you ever meet Bud Friedman?
I never met him, but he is an important force in comedy because what has he done?
He's an important force in watering drinks. That's what he is.
That's right. And he also pays the electric bill at the Improv, I'm sure, so that's a very important thing. And there's a lot of guys who made it, Eddie Murphy, Bill Murray, Brandon Tartikoff. Because, you know, he's doing stand-up now, Brandon.
Brandon is, I understand he did. He was on some show doing
I forget what it was, but he's very talented. He does a lot of stand-up. There's a lot of other guys. Robin Williams, he's a funny guy.
Where did he place in this list?
Well, he was last behind us, Robin Williams.
Well, this may be alphabetical order, then.
Yeah, it's Robin Williams. He's a funny guy. He's funny because he married his babysitter, right?
You're happy to be on the list, then?
I'm happy to be on this list. I think that's a compliment.
Do you have anything you want to mention? Any public appearances? How's the family, by the way?
My family's okay. Everybody's
You have a lovely wife and 2 girls?
Yeah, and they're very proud of me.
Yeah.
Sort of proud of me, yeah.
And will you have more kids, do you think, or is 2 it for you?
No, I think 2 is going to be it. I don't know. Maybe a 3rd. I don't know. I'll see you, Dave. What do you think?
I don't know. That's. I appreciate you considering me, but I think that's a decision you're going to have to make.
I like to do my family planning with Dave on the show. It's an important thing.
Is there anything you want to mention? We have to go now.
Oh, we have to go.
We're all out of time. This man's saying it's time to say goodbye.
Oh, you got to get to the animals, the zoo animals.
That's right, the zoo animals.
I understand. Well, he'll be very interesting, I'm sure. It's fascinating.
It's Howard Stearns, ladies and gentlemen. Howard, nice to see you. We'll be right back.